So it looks like everything comes down to the CPI numbers and PPI numbers. Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com here. Daily market recap. Like, subscribe, and let's see what Spine Friends brought us in the past day, March 11th. We closed the day with a doji, basically indecision in the market. Since end of February, market is moving sideways, above the 507, below the 517, 518. And this is how it looks on the 65 minutes. We kept down, closed March 7th's gap, and slowly grind up. Closed morning's gap. We are still inside the yellow zone. This is the no trading zone. Sideways move. I want to see break above the yellow zone tomorrow after the CPI. 513 is the resistance. Above it, we will see back again the 518. This is how it looks on the daily. Basically, we're still in an uptrend above the buy signal, above the 507. If this area will fail to hold the support, next, this gap at the 497 will get filled. We can take Fibonacci, let him make us a little bit more support resistance for price action, and as you can see, we are above the yellow zone. Below the yellow zone, we will close the gap at the 497. QQQ 0.37 to the downside. We are inside the yellow zone with a doji. This is how it looks on the 65 minutes. Broke to the downside, gap not filled. We have this Fibonacci area, the 438.20, tough resistance. It was support. From this gap became support. Now resistance. Let's see if it can hold as support after the CPI numbers. Below this area, below the 435, below this lower border of this uptrend channel, the yellow zone will break to the downside, and this gap at the 425, 426 area will get filled, and we will retouch the 421. Dow Jones relative strength closed green, but as you can see, also the Dow Jones struggles to stay above the yellow zone. It's holding barely the lower border of this uptrend channel. Tomorrow, CPI all comes down to this. Below the yellow zone, Dow Jones goes to the 380. Good reaction above the 390, 392, and then the road towards 400 is clear. IWM another day 0.8 to the downside, but as you can see, the yellow zone is the most important zone of the FTI. We are still above the buy signal, the green line. Good reaction, and we are heading towards the 210 and then 221. Bad reaction, and the lower border of this downtrend, of this uptrend channel, will get broken to the downside, and this area will not hold, and we are heading back to the 193. MAGS, the Magnificent 7 ETF, broke this uptrend channel. Let's see, we can adjust the Fibonacci trend lines a little bit wider, and here we are. Struggles to hold this uptrend channel. We are inside the yellow zone. This is why we got ourselves the sell signal, but the yellow zone is holding strong since the gap of February 22nd. Below this zone and this gap at the 36.50 will get filled. We can make it a little bit like this. Know your gaps. Gaps are meant to get filled, at least 85-90% of them. SOXX 1.33 to the downside. Another red day on the SOXX, but ended up with a doji, which means bulls are not giving up so fast. We are inside the yellow zone, the no trading zone, the danger zone, which means if we are already long on SOXX or some of its components, maybe it's time to rethink the long position, manage risk, take some profits. It all comes down to your risk management and your risk tolerance. If you think about taking SOXX or some of its components long, this is not the time. Bitcoin continues up. 68,800 is the support. Above 72,500, we are heading towards the 78 and 86. Look at this uptrend channel. This is why we use the FTI on everything and anything we want to trade on any time frame. This is the Bitcoin on the daily. This is the Bitcoin on the 4 hours. And as you can see in the past few candles, we are having dojis. Bulls of the Bitcoin likes to take long breaks. As you can see here, they're taking long breaks after each pop-up above the 72,600, 74 and 76 on the 4 hours. Ethereum, same thing. Bulls of Ethereum on the 4 hours taking a long break. The 4,000 is the support. Above the 4,100, 42 and 43.20. This is how the Ethereum looks on the daily. Also Ethereum, after every pop, bulls of Ethereum taking a rest. All good. Crypto land. Gold, after a massive bull run, now looks like the bulls are tired. Bulls of the gold need some rest. Perfectly healthy. Let's see what are the next support and resistance according to the FTI. We have this base at the 2017, long continuation above the 21.95 towards the 22 and 23 to the upside. Natural gas continues its way to the downside. Below the 174, we will see 168 and 158 back to the downside. Crude oil futures back inside the yellow zone, breaking below, and we will see 75, 80 and all the red levels to the downside. Long on crude oil only above the 79, and then we have 80, 82 and 84 to the upside. Before we continue, all I ask is take 1 millisecond of your time, hit a like, hit a subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any other video, and most importantly, you won't miss every day 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time live pre-market preparations. We are preparing together, live charting, live Q&A. So hit the notification bell. Come join us every day live. XLF holding strong above the yellow zone. This yellow zone, as you can see, from resistance to support, long continuation above the 480 towards 41.50 and then towards the 42.50. Bad reaction for the CPI, and the XLF will revisit the lower border of this uptrend channel. XBI gaps are meant to get filled, and this gap from February 27th got filled. Now the yellow zone needs to hold, otherwise back, retesting the lower border of this uptrend channel, and then 92 and back to the downside with all these red levels to the downside. And this is another great example of why we must have stop losses every time we go in a trade, because no one knows what will happen next. No one. The only thing we have full control of as traders is our risk management. If you trade without risk management, if you trade without stop losses, ladies and gentlemen, newsflash, you are on your way to burn out your money. Take care of your money. You worked super hard for it. Why burn it? XLU continues to the upside. 63 holding very nice support in the past 3 trading days. Long continuation above the 64.20, and we will see 65.20 and 66.40. And as you can see, the FTI provides us everything that we need. Trend lines based on Fibonacci. We have the Fibonacci levels, and we have the buy sell signal, green line to manage our risk. Everything in just one click away. XLRE Nothing much. The 39.80 from resistance to support, still inside an uptrend channel. Long continuation above the 40.30 towards 41.73. KRE still inside the downtrend channel, but holding nice above the yellow zone. I want to see, will the KRE finally break above this downtrend channel? All comes down to CPI numbers and then PPI numbers. Apple is next, 1.2% to the upside, closed the gap from March 4th, closed the day with a doji, but this is the beauty with the FTI. No matter the candle, no matter the movement, one candle does not change the overall sentiment, and Apple is still below a sell pressure, below the yellow zone, inside a downtrend channel. Downtrend on Apple until proven otherwise. 168 needs to hold, otherwise 158 and 146 to this gap. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Where price is heading? Are we going to the bearish land, or are we continuing into the bullish land after CPI numbers? Microsoft is next. Microsoft holding strong inside this uptrend channel, trying to get back inside the yellow zone. As you can see, 4 consecutive dojis after this massive sell-off last Tuesday, breaking below, and we will see all the red levels to the downside. We're still under a sell pressure. We are still under the double top scenario on Microsoft. Meta, what happened to Meta? 4.4% in one day on Meta. I don't remember this kind of day on Meta since even the chart doesn't remember. As far as we go, October 2023. But one candle, and it doesn't matter how big, how strong, how deep it is, does not change the overall sentiment. We are still inside an uptrend channel. We are still above the yellow zone. Yes, we got ourselves a sell signal. Of course, the FTI will give us a sell signal after this sell-off in one candle, but it doesn't mean we need to go short on Meta. This is why we have all the rest of the Fibonacci, the yellow zone, trend lines. Just one click away. Check the links in the description below. Tesla with 1.4% to the upside, but if we look, we can see that the 182 area, very tough resistance from support to resistance. Always look left and try to identify why price is where it is, why it got rejected, why it got support. 173.70 support, 182.70, 183 resistance. Netflix holding above the 593, very nice. This gap is filled, not relevant anymore. We are below the sell signal because Netflix is struggling with this trend line, breaking below the 594, and we will see 570 to the downside together with this lower border of the uptrend channel. Nvidia another 2% to the downside, but ladies and gentlemen, another perfect example why we need the FTI on our chart. The FTI gives us everything that we need to manage our emotions, to manage our risk, to manage our positions. Nvidia almost 8% in 2 trading days, but it doesn't matter. Nvidia is still inside an uptrend channel, still above the yellow zone. Yes, we got ourselves a sell signal. Of course we will get a sell signal from the FTI after 7.5% in 2 trading days to the downside. It's time to rethink our long position on Nvidia. It only says it helps us to manage our position. It tells us that if we are already in a long position, it's time to rethink our risk management. It's time to rethink our stop loss, manage your stop loss, maybe take some profit to the pocket. Always, no one lost money by taking profits. Is it time to go short on Nvidia? According to the FTI, it's not the time yet. Shopify 1.5% to the downside, holding above the 72, below the 77. Nothing much on Shopify below the 72, and this gap, in my opinion, 60 to 50 will get filled. AMD 4.3% to the downside. Overall, AMD from the top of 227 to the low of today, 13%. 13, you know this number. 13 is a Fibonacci number. 13% to the downside at AMD in 2 trading days inside the yellow zone. Is it time to go short on AMD? Look what the FTI tells us. It gives us and provides us everything that we need to manage our position and manage our fear and greed. We are still inside an uptrend channel. Yes, 13%. But after this bull run, 13% is very healthy, even back to the 186. Another 5-6% to the downside will be super healthy. Overall, AMD still holding inside an uptrend channel. Is it time to go long? Not yet. I want to see this lower border of the uptrend channel holding the 186, holding a support, and then I will look for the same bounce we saw over here, the same bounce we saw over here, and over here. Always look left. This is how you become a professional trader. Amazon inside the yellow zone, breaking down and under. We have this gap that needs to get filled. The 170.30 gap needs to get filled, and maybe a retest the 169 together with this border of the uptrend channel. Google, last but not least, basically hold alone the SPY and the Q inside the downtrend channel, and look how the yellow zone acts as resistance and support. Now let's see continuation on Google inside the yellow zone, above the 140, above the 142, and then this gap will get filled, and this gap will get filled. Too many gaps to the upside on Google, but overall Google is still inside the downtrend channel. Let's see how the CPI and PPI numbers will affect the rest of the market. So once again, thank you very much for joining and watching this video. If you liked it, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Any feedback, any comments will be appreciated. Until the next video, stay safe.